I'm writing this from inside the cramped, smelly public toilet. My phone battery is critically low and the light flickers. I don't dare to open the metal door. Heavy footsteps keep circling the concrete block outside. This nightmare started only an hour ago. I was sitting in my dark bedroom. The monitor glowed with the familiar streets of San Andreas. I was deep into a late-night GTA Samp session. The clock on my taskbar read 3 in the morning. My empty stomach growled painfully. I decided to grab a cold burger from the fridge. I left my room and walked down the narrow hallway. The bathroom door was wide open. As I passed it, I glanced inside. Something was moving in the toilet bowl. 2 large fuzzy brown paws gripped the porcelain rim. A massive bear head slowly rose from the water. It wore a black top hat. It had a frozen, unsettling smile. It was Freddy Fazbear. The creature pulled itself out without making a splash. Its body was huge and covered in matted fur. I stopped for a second, my heart skipping a beat. My tired brain completely rejected the image. I thought to myself that such things do not happen in real life. It had to be a sleep-deprived hallucination. So I did the most logical thing possible. I completely ignored it and continued to the kitchen. I opened the refrigerator and grabbed the cold cheeseburger. I didn't look back at the bathroom. The hallway was silent again. The bear was gone when I passed by. I returned to my desk and sat down. The game was still running. My character stood idle near a lowrider. I placed the burger on a paper plate. Everything felt normal again. I convinced myself I had imagined the whole thing. The burger was cold, greasy and perfect. I unwrapped the paper and took a huge bite. Juices dripped down my chin. Ketchup and mayonnaise smeared across my fingers. I reached for my soda, but my elbow knocked the burger off the plate. It tumbled onto my desk in slow motion. The patty slid across my mousepad. Shredded lettuce scattered into the mechanical keyboard. A blob of sauce landed on the space key. I cursed under my breath. The workstation was a complete mess. Ketchup pooled near the escape key. A piece of onion stuck to my monitor. I carefully picked up the bun halves. I scraped the meat off the desk surface with my index finger. A few stray crumbs and a tiny screw from the keyboard got stuck to the cheese. I didn't bother to remove them. I reassembled the burger piece by piece. It was pathetically broken. I took another satisfying bite. The taste was a mix of cold beef, regret and old dust. I chewed slowly, determined to finish it. I finished the entire burger and licked my fingers clean. I wiped my greasy hands on my pajama pants. That's when I noticed the absolute silence. The game music had stopped. My bedroom door creaked open slowly. The sound was slow and deliberate. A huge shadow stretched across the floor. I turned around in my chair. Freddy Fazbear stood in my doorway. His plastic eyes were locked onto me. He was at least 7 feet tall. His joints clicked with each mechanical step. I leaped from my chair. He lunged forward and I dodged, sprinting into the hallway. His heavy footsteps pounded the floor right behind me. I could hear his claws scratching the wallpaper. The whole apartment started to shake. I ran past the living room, knocking over a floor lamp. I could hear his deep mechanical breathing. The footsteps were deafening, like slamming lockers. Suddenly, a door flew open in front of me. My mom appeared, her hair a mess and her eyes furious. She didn't see the bear. She only saw me running like a maniac in the dark. Mom screamed, What the hell is wrong with you? It's 3 in the morning. I need to sleep. I tried to answer. I just pointed frantically behind me. But when I looked, the hallway was completely empty. Freddy had vanished into the bathroom. My mom's face was twisted with rage. She stepped back and slammed her bedroom door shut. The lock clicked aggressively. I stood frozen in the sudden silence. Then I heard a toilet flush in the bathroom. The door creaked open again. Freddy stepped out, water dripping from his brown fur. His plastic smile looked wider now. The chase was back on. I bolted for the front door. I yanked the front door open and stumbled outside. The cold night air hit my sweaty face. The street was completely empty. Street lamps buzzed faintly with orange light. I ran across the wet lawn. Heavy ground shaking thumbs followed me. Freddy burst through the door frame, snapping the wooden trim. I didn't look back. I headed for the small park at the end of the street. There was an old concrete public toilet block. I could hide inside, lock the door and call for help. My bare feet slapped the cold pavement. My lungs burned as I sprinted. Freddy's footsteps grew louder and faster behind me. I reached the toilet block and grabbed the freezing metal handle. The hinges screamed as I pulled the door open. I threw myself inside and slammed it shut. I turned the rusty lock with trembling fingers. The lock clicked into place. Something heavy slammed against the door from outside. The metal dented inward. I gasped for air. The interior was pitch dark. It smelled of dampness, chlorine and something rotting. I sat on the closed lid of the toilet seat. My heart hammered against my ribs. I could hear him outside. His bulky shadow passed under the door crack. Thud, thud, thud. He was circling the concrete building slowly. I pulled out my phone. The screen illuminated my sweaty, terrified face. I started typing the story. I'm still sitting here in the dark. My fingers are trembling on the screen. The footsteps outside have stopped for a moment. A terrifying silence has settled in. Maybe he gave up. I need someone to know what happened. This isn't a prank and this isn't a dream. Freddy Fazbear is real. He came from the sewer system beneath the city. He hunts through the pipes. My phone warns me that power is at 5%. I type faster. I stare at the toilet bowl in front of me. It's an old porcelain one with a metal cistern. The water is dark and perfectly still. The air feels heavy and cold. I should probably stay here until sunrise. I will post this story online if I make it out alive. Wait. I noticed something. The water in the bowl is moving. Small ripples spread from the center. A faint gurgling sound comes from the drain. The smell gets worse. The water level begins to rise. Two fuzzy brown paws slowly emerge from the hole. They grip the rim tightly. A wet black top hat rises above the surface. The frozen smile follows. He is climbing out. The door behind me rattles. I can't breathe. This is it. Oh my god, guys. This is the scariest story I ever found on the darknet. I pooped my pants. I'm really afraid of Freddy Fazbear. Please subscribe to my channel, Creepy Dark Horror TV. Watch my other videos. Goodbye guys, I really shitted my pants very hard.